Today I'm going to fire these 100 mini Roman reproduction pots in my homemade garden kiln. Let's do this. So this is the second time I've done a firing in the garden, only this time I've upgraded the kiln. If you haven't watched the first video, check it out, it'll be up in the corner there. It was a pretty successful firing, but it was clear that temperature didn't get high enough. So I looked into what I could do to upgrade my kiln, and I'll take you through some of the bits and bobs I've done, and then we'll get stacking those pots inside. So firstly, I've increased the size of the firebox. You can see it's taller, wider, and much longer as well. I've put a lot more mud insulation around the kiln as well. This should help, and most of it's dry, some of it's still drying over there, but all this stuff up the back's nice and dry. I've also fitted these fins down in the bottom of the kiln, so this should help the hot air come up through the firebox and underneath into the pots. So there are a couple of the physical changes I've made to the kiln, but one of the biggest ones I've done is I looked into what temperatures woods burn at. Before we were using an old shed, so it was old pine slats, but thanks to some friends and a little bit of scrounging, I've managed to gather some different types. So I'm not going to pretend I know what they are, but they're different hardwoods. So you've got some logs there and some little ones. I think that might have been from a tree I had in the garden actually. This is old garden furniture, which tends to be hardwoods as well, so there's loads and loads of that. But also I've got a good quantity of the softwoods as well, because it's easy burning, and it'll be great to start the kiln off with those and assist with this harder woods burning as well. So given all of these changes, I'm looking at getting to 800 to 1000 degrees today. That should vitrify these pots. That's when the pots become effectively solid and ceramic. All the parts become homogeneous, one of my favourite new words, and when you sort of give it a flick, you should hear that clink clink clink, that ceramic sound. So fingers crossed, today I'm going to end up with some pots that are properly vitrified. How awesome do all those pots look inside there? They all stacked really well as well. God, the wind's really pulling. I started a little fire. It's just on the outside of the firebox because at the moment just need to warm everything up gently. I want to try and go up about 100 degrees every half an hour or so. I don't want to give too much thermal shock to these pots because I really do want them to survive. And so far it's pulling great. Now the kiln's slowly warming up, I've got some time to make some of my mud cement stuff because I need to seal most of the top of the kiln now. So I've got in here mud, sand and loads of sort of runny clay and goop slip left from the pottery making process. That'll do it for the mud. I'm going to stick it on the top of the kiln and seal it all up apart from one little area, which is kind of going to be like the flue now, the temporary one. So I can see hopefully inside and see those pots glowing. That's my dream today, to see some pots glowing. I have some simple dreams. many hours into today's firing, and it's going super well. Certainly the combination of the wood, the upgrades to the kiln. I had Rob here earlier, who's a bit of a flue expert, and he was adjusting things as well and getting the draw. And the little machine, my little temperature gauge, has been definitely clocking in around 700 to 800 degrees. So that's right on the minimum amount of money that we need. But I think it's certainly got hot enough to vitrify these pots. But I'm going to keep going at it for a little while longer and just keep pumping more in. I've got some wood left, so I might as well, before I finally add some carbon into the mix, seal it all up, and then call it a day. This is such hard work, like you have no idea. I mean, it's a lovely way to spend the day, have a few beers, had some mates over as well, I've had a barbecue and made some pots as well, but it's constant attention. It needs to be stoked and stoked and stoked. I was using a hoe as my stoker, but yeah, the end came off that quite some time ago. So I've been doing this, and actually it's got to the point where I can't stoke it anywhere near it. It's incredibly hot. You've got to constantly try and get underneath it, keep the airflow going. Don't let it build up too much ash. Oh my word, that's hot. Get in there, you. I need a better stokey stick, plus it's getting shorter every single time I do it. It probably loses a centimetre or so. I've clocked it on the temperature. Where's my gauge thing? Here it is. I'll turn it on. I don't think you'll be able to see it, but that's now 6, 7, and I can't get it right into the back. I've had it as high as 820, 830, which technically is right on the edge of what's possible as regards vitrification with these pots. I just don't know. I can't see them glowing because I can't see them, which is infuriating. Just don't know what's going on inside the kiln. But it's a great thing, isn't it? You just make a bit of clay into a pot and then fire it in a kiln in your back garden. And hopefully if they survive, which fingers crossed, I haven't heard any like pings and smashes and stuff like that, probably because I don't think it's necessarily reaching stupid temperatures. They'll all be for sale on my Etsy shop, and these are the mini pots, so they're going to be £10 a pot and £5 fee delivery and your postage and packaging, all that put together. So 15 quid gets you a authentic, as I possibly can do, Roman mini pot. I know it's hotter than the last one I did, so I've got a feeling they'll feel even more ancient, I guess. I've only got a little bit of wood left over there, maybe 10 bits. I'm going to chuck those in, and then I'm going to get a load of green carbon material, some conifer and some grass cuttings, and then I'm going to put them in and I'm going to seal the whole thing up, which means I need to make more mud. Ah yes, I must make more mud. Right, let me do that. I've either hit a good temperature or I haven't, so I've kind of got to call it. I'm out of fuel. I've been going at it for about 6 hours now, and it's got to some seriously high temperatures. I'd love to have seen 1,000 degrees on my little thermometer thingy, but I just don't know, and I haven't seen any glowing pots, which I would have loved to have seen, but it's really hard to see in there, so only time will tell. I'm going to leave this till tomorrow to cool down before I can even break it open and have a look at the pots, but first I'm going to do carbon reduction. So it's still really hot in there, but I've just taken the chimney off, and the wood's going probably, yeah, maybe 10 minutes worth of really hot wood left in there, if that makes any sense. So what I'll do is I'll throw in, I've got grass cuttings and I've got a bit of cherry tree. I was going to use conifer, but actually it's all gone a bit brown, so I'd rather stick with these fresh cuttings. I'll throw them all in, put a load of bricks up the front, loads of mud on there, and seal up the top as well, and then all the carbon from these green elements will get sucked into the pots, and they'll go black and dark grey, and they'll get all kinds of great patternings on them and all the great stuff that you saw on the previous pots. But maybe with grass cuttings and a bit of cherry tree they might go a slightly different colour, who knows. It all makes a difference. Right, let's do carbon reduction. Mucky work. Not all of the kiln is sealed. Clearly there's still smoke coming out, but imagine what's going on inside. There's so much smoke and it's all got that carbon in it, and it's all being pulled into the pots, hopefully. Right, I don't have to do anything now. My hard work is over. I can leave this until tomorrow, go and have a relaxing evening, and hopefully inside are some awesome pots. I'll have to wait quite a few hours, but you won't. You'll see it next. That was a hard day yesterday, but hopefully it's all been worth it. It's still quite warm, I have to say. It's a lot warmer than it was the last time I did this in the morning after, if that makes sense. So obviously a lot more heat went into this bad boy. Right, I'm so excited to get it broken open, so let's just crack on, literally. say, out of the many things I've done in my life, this is one of the more magical moments. Looking into this kiln and seeing all these pots is just incredible. It just screams ancient for some reason. It's all those moments of breaking into tombs, isn't it? And having treasures in there. It feels like that because you have to break it open and you have no idea. Well, you know what's in there, you put it in there, but you don't know what you're going to find. I've just tried touching one of the pots. I'm going to get one of the ones near the top there, and it is absolutely beautiful. Look at that. It's actually really hot. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to let these cool down now that it's broken open. Probably give this another hour. Probably go have my breakfast before I can come back to it, because certainly down the flue end it's still painfully hot. I can't even get down there, which is incredible. I think, should I do a little clink? Hear that? They sound really hard. So high hopes that they're fully vitrified. If not, they're still phenomenal little pots. This kiln won't cool down. It's so hot. Check this out. The firebox, I just opened it and it is, yeah, well, you can see. I'm trying to scoop out some of the coals. Epically hot in there still. My God. I stopped firing that some ridiculous amount of hours ago. It's about 4 or 5 o'clock last night. It's been quite a few hours. I think it's cool enough to start getting these pots out. I've had a little trial at actually picking them out and they are cool enough to move, so I'll take that. And I have to say, I'm really impressed with them. They clink really well. They look great. The colours are fantastic. The carbon reductions come out really well. So time to get 100. Hopefully there's none broken. Can't see any broken. Let's get 100 pots out. I've just spent probably an hour cleaning up all the pots, and actually it's just been such a joy going through and enjoying the shapes that are created. You forget which ones you've made and little designs you put in, and I'm just blown away. I really am. I'm so proud of those pots. I can't believe I'm saying that. I've got to this age where it becomes everything is making pots. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that, guys. There's a gallery after this with lots of photos of the pots that have gone through the kiln. If you want to purchase any of them, they're on my Etsy shop, which is in the description below this video. Thanks very much. Bye for now.